Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So, I was just doing homework. I was doing a very, very boring, dry homework that was like using the analytical part of my brain, and I was about to fall asleep. And so, you know what, I just wanted to hop on here and I wanted to like switch into the other part of my brain, kind of like keep it balanced, use both. But yeah, it's so boring. It makes me want to go to bed. So let's snap out of it. So what are we gonna use? I wanted to use Outlaw Oracle. I wanted to use Lightseer's Tarot, and then the Character Oracle. And I'm like, how did I see it? I saw it as like you kind of need the balance between both. And then like I guess with my whole brain right now, wanting both sides, it's important for both. But I still like the Outlaw as being rebellious, you know, doing what you want. But when it goes unchecked, it could also be destructive. And then with the Lightseer, I see that as like being kind and compassionate and things like that. But unchecked, you can become like a people pleaser or like passive aggressive or something like that. And then in the middle, I just wanted Character Oracle to like fuse them together and see what comes out. So let's do Outlaw first, because I feel like you just need to be a little bit rebellious. It's time to change things. Things have been boring. If you've been reading papers like I have, it makes you want to go to bed. And you know what? You're meant to be out in your day, having an awesome time. So shake things up. Spirit, what's up? Tell me a story. Okay. Three, 4. 3 or 4. Oh, and then bottom of the deck. Okay. So what came out first? So in this rebellion, there's a little bit of reversals. Are we going to take them? I am going to take it. So the first one to come out was Heat Wave with oppression and exhaustion. This was in reverse. Want to know why? Because I feel like when you don't go do your fun things, you just make everything be work and boring and dull. That's when you become exhausted because there's no fun. There's no creativity. There's no joy. There's none of that spark, they're telling me. The heat wave. Heat, I picture a flame, right? It's so hot, and then like one of those sticks and then catches on fire. And so if there's no spark, no joy in your life, you're going to get bored. But that's not what we're doing here. It's in reverse because there is that spark. There is that need to balance both. The next one to come out was Mirage, which also was in reverse. And it says illusions, shadow, and fantasy. And they're kind of bringing me now back to the reading a couple days ago where they said that life is just a fantasy. What was that even about? I don't remember. I say stories, the story comes, the story goes. I don't remember. Whatever. But what I see is that there is no illusions. You create your own destiny. You do what you want. And it's funny because the next one to come up with that is Saloon in the upright. Normally, right, it says that this is not something that you really want to do because the words underneath it was escapism. But there is a need to take breaks and to incorporate both, right, to have that fun. So this says escapism, good times, and hideout. There's a song coming through. I don't know it. I've only heard it a couple times. I want to say maybe I think her name is Jess Glenn, but it was like that hideaway song, or like where do the good people go to hide away? It's like I've been living my life in this heat wave, in this desert mirage, whatever. It's starting to get boring. I don't know what to do. Where are all those like-minded people that want to chill? And I don't know. I just keep seeing it's time to take a break. So next one that was on the bottom of the deck What about the bottom? Why the bottom? 3 of them, they say past, present, future. Present, past, future is how they always say it lately. But the bottom of the deck is the thing that is coming through. This is the aggressive thing. Okay, this is like unchecked, right? Because there is a need to have that spark. Go out and do whatever it is that your fantasy is. But if you keep doing that in its destructive way, what does it say? Diamondback Rattler. It says speed and primal power. And it's ready to strike. And so that's what I kind of see is like with this energy, right? We need this energy because this energy is like the fun things, right? It's like when you go to school and you have recess. When you're little, you always waited for recess. Except for I lived in a really cold place, so I didn't really like going out in -30 weather. So that sucked. But what about it? Yeah, so it's always going out and like whoever this kind of energy without the light seer and the empathy and the heart and the purpose, they're kind of, their whims can take them anywhere. So an idea will come and maybe without ever actually stopping to think about it. So they get themselves in a lot of bad situations. With that primal power, it's just like different part of the brain activated. I'm seeing more of the reptilian brain, and that is just about safety and survival. I need to get food, I need to procreate, I just need basic things. But we live in a much more advanced society now where we can just go to the grocery store and the food's there. There's almost like everything at our fingertips. And so what am I seeing? Idle hands. And it's like something to do with your hands. Your hands need a purpose. And you know what? I just need to take a mini break. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Allergies are kicking my butt these days. But I'm not really in the story anymore. And, well, that was pretty much what this was all about. Like, hey, you need to go take mini breaks. Normally I'm like, we gotta sit through the reading the whole time. But you know what? You can do whatever you want. And you should do whatever you want. But don't go out and like do whatever you want without thinking, right? There is consequences to all your actions. And so let's bring in the light seer part of this. So what I'm seeing is with the mirage and the fantasy and the oppression and all these things that someone just kind of wants to go do things quickly. Like, I'm not going to think, I'm just going to do. Which is usually good. That's like your gut instinct. But on this, when you always do it, it's almost like just kind of showing like hedonism or something like that. And that's the reptilian brain. Like there's the other part. There's the conscious part. So let's bring in the light side and then bring the balance between the both. Oh yeah, something to do with idle hands. So we got one. So we got Knight of Swords. Nope, not coming out. It's like there's something that's just there and I almost want to grasp it. And every time I go to grasp it, it kind of sinks back in. But not that one. How many? 5. Okay, so current situation. Current situation is 5 of Pentacles. And they're sitting there really, really sad because they seem like they're locked outside. And Pentacles is all about money and earthly possessions and things like that. And so, what about it? The key is literally right there. But they're not looking because they're just sitting there in this like pity party. Like, woe is me, woe is me. Normally in this, they're locked out in the cold. And I just said, like on recess, I always would be like cold out, didn't want to go. But in this one, it's almost like stuck inside themselves. They want to go out in the world. They want to go do that. I hear someone be like, dude, if I could go out in the cold, it would have been awesome because they're so busy on something, right? It's like everything is occupying their mind, especially in this one. I feel like, okay, so usually swords is the mind, pentacles is all about earthly possessions, kinda, but I see this person being trapped in their mind. It's interesting. Pentacles are earthly things, being out and about, going and doing things, and they want to go out and do things, but it's like something in their mind stops it, and they have the key to it. And so it says, what are you doing that you're asked not to do? We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Also to do with Pentacles, right? Here they are going very slowly, finding balance, doing all these things. So what do I see this? Page is like just starting out and like learning things. So as I see this, it's almost like I'm seeing Tai Chi. They have like a Tai Chi practice and like every day, and they're finding balance and they're doing all these things. Routine, that's what it is. They have a routine, and with it in reverse, it's like, what are you doing that you're asked not to do? Well, I don't understand if you're following a routine way too closely, that it needs to have a little bit of wiggle room for other things to kind of like shift and come in. Because if you only have your same routine, everything's full. And I was like doing a video the other day, and I was like talking about my teacher and the cup, and then I got distracted and talked about something else. But she always used to say, like, one of the students said it, and it stood out. It's one of my favorite sayings, like, to this date. But it was like the word beautiful, breaking down the word beautiful. It's be you till full, right? You have to fill up your cup. And then once your cup's full, then you could share with other people. Beautiful. Be you till full. And then my teacher used to always be like, what's your sign that you like show the universe? And it's almost like, you know, if you're a healer, you're like, I'm a healer, so you're gonna keep attracting all these broken people who need healing. And then you can get like upset and be like, why is this like, why does everyone take advantage or something? I don't know where that's coming from, because I really want to talk about the cup, but that's one thing. So I guess it's like you held up your sign, you said, this is who I am, this is all I am, so that's what you got. And so from that, it filled up your cup with what you are holding up your sign. That's what she shared. Yeah. And so now you have this cup, and this cup is so full that something else comes along and you're like, ooh, I really want that, but there's no room for it. So like something, you have to spill something. So with this current situation and the sadness, I kind of see it as a positive, because they look like they're crying, and I see crying as spilling. And so, yeah, what are you doing? It's like, hey, your routine's just a little strict right now. So then what you should be doing, what you could be focusing on instead of the routine, this was in reverse. We have the King of Swords and the King of Swords in reverse. What you're supposed to be doing, that's a little, okay. I feel like I'm not supposed to take things so literal. That's what they're saying. Don't be so literal, because in reverse, it's almost like a narcissist, you know? It's like, but the King of Swords is, again, as I said about the Pentacles, I kept feeling like this is in the mind. This is something trapped in the mind. And so the King of Swords is always using logic and reason and no emotion and like things like that. And it's like analytical. And that's what my paper was. It was so boring. I just kept yawning and yawning. And like, so when you're in that routine, and if you're only like that, and you're like numbers and like accounting, like things like that, there is a need to kind of do and break out into the creativity. So with the King in reverse, I'm not seeing it be like, be self-absorbed and rude and cutthroat. No, that's the badass outlaw energy. There is a little bit of that, right? A little spice. But in this, it's saying, don't be so strict. Don't be so caught up in your mind, because your mind has led you to this situation. Because the cup was too full, and now you can't even if you want to have this, I'm seeing it as a flower. You want your props, you want your flowers, you can't really see them because it's stuck inside. So what is it saying to focus on? We got the Knight of Swords. So swords again is energy, but it's quick. Look, like they're running to a motorcycle. And then we have the eagle with higher perspective. So all work and no play is boring. You're not going to have fun. You're going to sit here and be sad. So the final outcome of this, that doesn't make sense. These two don't make sense together. No, this is hidden energy under the situation. What's playing factors into this? Oh, it is quick movement, but I also feel like they might just be running away. That's what it is. They're like, I'm over here, I'm sad, right? I don't want to do my routine. I'm breaking out of my norm. I'm going to run away and go do something. And then what's in this one? Four of Swords. And so Four of Swords is like being able to like sleep peacefully at the end of the day. Normally it's like swords hanging up above you, and it's like looming. Something about this is like, you got to get out of the mind. There's something, because what I thought, I guess I got to get out of my mind. What I thought, like that doesn't match, but let me tell you what I thought, because it didn't work out. It didn't work out that way. I thought we were going to pull the outlaw. I thought the outlaw ones were going to give like some rebel type energy, which this one's kind of giving rebel energy. We got the King of Swords. There is rebel energy. And then I thought that the Light Seer would have been the nurturing, like, you know, how to bring empathy or blah, blah, blah into it. But both of them are saying like the same thing, but it's almost like opposite. It's like twisted or something. So I don't know. I'm kind of confused. And I feel like whoever this message is for, it is confusing, because there's so much like, there's no cups on here. There's no, what's the other one? Wands. There's no passion and there's no emotion in this. It's just work and money and thinking and earthly things. Things and thoughts. Things and thoughts. Things and thoughts. That's what it is. And with all these things and thoughts, it's kind of led to this impulsiveness, possibly greediness. Because if that's all you think about, things and thoughts, I care about things, and now I'm acting quickly out with this snake energy. I need to escape. Escapism, but that was the was it a positive thing? Let's pull the character cards. I think I already said that. So we got betrayal come out. It says deceit, disloyalty, conspiracies, and broken bonds. We got journalist with chronicler of stories, reporting, interview, inquiry, and promotion. That was a premonition, but yeah, these are so like facts. This is just the facts. And like this betrayal, I don't know what the betrayal is really from. Well, someone's sad. Remember, they're sitting there. Oop, this one flipped in reverse. It's singer, which is like the first card here that seems to be like something of passion or something that you would have fun. Yeah, it says resonance, moving hearts, harmony, emotion, and performance. That was in reverse. It's almost like the first like fun, happy card. It's like being denied. Something of the heart is being denied. And you know what? At this like Four of Swords, where I said like, there's so much being stuck in thoughts and things that at the end of the day, it's like, how do you sleep peacefully? And it's almost like they're sitting there sleeping with their swords. Like always on guard, expecting the worst, expecting something. But when you look at it, there's this red string that ties it all. And then there's the heart. And like the heart, it almost seems like they're like cuddling with swords rather than like the heart. I don't know. It's just kind of, I don't know. I'm trying not to think, but there's so much mental energy in this. I'm hearing you can't think yourself out of the situation that you got yourself into. Like you thought yourself into it with the same consciousness and the same way that you think. So you can't think yourself out of that without recreating the same thing over and over and over and over. And so it's almost like you keep betraying yourself, because I see someone being like, I know exactly what to do. I'm gonna go do this. And then ending up in the same cycle. Oh, it's a motorcycle. Same cycle. It's a motorcycle. Because you need to use the heart. Something about the heart and fun, and like the creative and the spark and the heat and the something. We got, whoa. Okay, finally, because like the next one to come out was Soldier. And then a whole bunch flew out. Okay. So, current situation, somebody's sitting in sadness. They're not happy. Why? Because their heart's not singing. Their heart stopped singing. Why? Because they stopped listening to it. They said, nope, my mind is smarter than my heart. And so they went into this routine. And Spirit's like, you know what? Yes, it's important to have a routine and a structure and a foundation, but it's like this report is like, we got back the numbers today, and guess what? Everything is exactly the same as it was yesterday. Nothing to report here. Same old, same old. And then the King of Swords, where it was like not needing to be so structured and analytical and all those things that came out of it, was the Soldier. And so that's almost what I feel like this mentality kind of is like, I just have to wake up, and it's like every day is just gray and dull, and wear a gray shirt. So maybe some significance, but that's just every day is the same, and I just wake up and I soldier on. It's the guardian of nations, loyalty, honor, integrity, and selfless service. Selfless. This seems like it's the honorable thing to do, but the heart's been taken out of it. There's no joy, there's no passion, and I just see the draining coming. And so now it's almost like a shell. And I heard shell shock. I don't know about that. Nothing else is coming through with that. Okay, so then after that comes this person who's like, well, now I need to like kickstart my heart, and then like wanting to like run away, and betrayal comes with that. So it's like breaking bonds, which I see over here, right? Everything is wrapped up. It's almost like she's staying there, and it's like everything is around, right? And then cut that cord, break the bond, then there's a bit of freedom. There's a little bit more movement. Need to break the structure of the routine. Routine is important, right? That routine happened probably because something unstable happened previously. And so, yeah, but remember, now you can't fill up that cup anymore, right? Things are gone. It's stuck. It's like so full that even if like I see Spirit bringing another cup, be like, this is the one that you always wished for. This is like sharing, right? Temperance, sharing, the outlaw and the light worker. But there's no room unless you had an empty cup come, but I don't see that. I see like 2 full cups. So something has to be let go. Why? Because there's the reptilian brain and then the conscious brain, and they're both full, because I feel like this person thinks and thinks and thinks and thinks and thinks, and like something about that. So then it might be sleepless nights, but I don't know, it just says like shaking up the routine will really change everything. So underneath this 4 of Swords was the swindler, the master of deception, hypocrisy, disguise, and conspiracy. This was in reverse. So to actually take that mask off, because that's what I feel like. Someone's like in a, they're saying it's a rut. Someone calls it a routine, Spirit's calling it a rut. And so in this routine / rut, they've seemed to put on a mask, right? He's wearing a mask. And it's like, no, I'm fine. I'm happy. But they're not happy because their heart's not happy because their heart can't sing or do whatever it wants. So they betray themselves. And so once they feel betrayed and they see everything is just playing the same and same and same and same and same, I could say that forever. And then it's just a betrayal to yourself. So then there's this waking up that happens. But then 3 more popped out. And I was like, finally. But why? Because the animal shaman came. And so that's the spirit world. That's the going under, through the veil. I don't know how to explain that right now. But anyways, let's just read. It says, animal spirits, spiritual leader, and nature. There's no spiritual anything in this. It's so analytical and 3D based and all those things. And it's not liking what they see. That there's no spark or magic. There's no magic anymore. And that sucks because that's what makes waking up worth it. That what makes, like, why does a flower blossom? Like, what is that life force, that spark? It's that spark to that heat wave. That is the awe and the wonder of everything. So then the next one to come out was in reverse. But this one was in the upright. It's the king. It's finally like, rather, what are they showing me? They're showing me this soldier energy where it was like selfless and then finding the balance between the two. So architect says weaver of blueprints, planning. Yeah, you don't have to plan because this person plans so much and the plans aren't working out. So architect, I see that as foundation, buildings that go on it. And so maybe it's just been a little too rigid that things, it's so, flexibility, right? Because if it's so stiff, things are going to come crashing down. And I feel like it has, right? Because they're just sitting there crying. There's also supervision and construction. Supervision from who? I think that this person is like the leader. So like there's no one here to tell you, right? You don't tell outlaw badass person what to do. They're like, no, I do what I want. And this person wants to go have a good time and they want to enjoy things because all they do is work and work and work and worry about money and pentacles. And so to actually step out of that and be the king, right? We're going to balance purpose with passion together. And it says sovereign of realms, monarch, authority, rule, and inheritance. The word inheritance really stood out because it seems like this person feels lack. And then so to actually go out and do what you love is going to raise that in you. It's going to bring your heart. Your heart is the thing that really guides you to the perfect place at the perfect time, to the perfect people, to the everything. And then your mind kind of like helps you navigate with it, right? Then you also have that gut instinct. So to bring all 3 of those together, mind, body, soul, that's when I see you finally being like free of whatever it is that is this tie, this thing that keeps you trapped and almost like. But you know what? Okay. She looks really peaceful. Look at how peaceful she sleeps. And then this one, it's like this person's not resting. They're so worried. They're tired. But this is 2 different energies. This one can sleep good at night because, what am I almost seeing? There's still no wands in this. There's no passion. We need passion. And so, I don't know. I almost feel like this person's like, no, like I can't get swept up in feelings and things because, that's not what a real leader does. But you have to have heart and you have to have passion, but you also have to be smart and you have to be grounded, right? You need all the elements. You can't just be air, swords, intellect, and pentacles, earth, and money. Those are unstable in the end if that's all you focus on. And so this king with the sovereign being, I'm in control of my own life. I choose my destiny. Especially that other one was like, you need supervision. No, you don't. You know what to do. And you'll do it. Because it's going to spark your heart. But you know what, Spirit? I feel like this is a long video. I want insights on one of these. Just pull. Oh, this one got messy. What is it though? It's the Nine of Pentacles. Look, Nine of Pentacles is like, you're going to have to break your routine. You're going to have to make a mess. That the foundation might crumble, might fall over. But guess what? It's reaching to higher things. And on that king, it said inheritance. So I feel like the thought is like, I'm so worried about money. And then this is like, by following your passion is actually what's going to like inherit your new stability, your new confidence. That, I don't know, I just feel like that this person has just been so strict. You're allowed to have fun. So I pulled it and I think this was it. And then I pulled it again. And so I guess we get 2. So what do we get? Hey, we got wild hearts, unbridled and adventurous gamblers. Hey, they're on a motorcycle. And then what's this one? This one says good-hearted woman. Respected, understanding, easygoing, and stable. So that's you going on your own adventure, doing your own thing, choosing your own cup. There's a little bit need to empty that cup. It needs to spill a bit. And so with that spilling, now you have room. Now other things in your life can come. And so I almost feel like this person sitting in that pentacles like, I want to run off and go do this. And then it's like, but I can't, I got this and I got this. And then again, it's like, newsflash, every day is exactly the same and the reports are still the same. Nothing has changed. You being there is not really going to create the change that you truly wish to see. So by being flexible, by bringing this animal shaman type energy actually brings in, and you know what, there's so much mental in this, and it was so masculine that with this wild hearts and this good-hearted woman, I feel like possibly someone that could be a relationship, but that's not how we're going to look at it. It's bringing that feminine energy within yourself, which is that nurturing, which is the light seer part that I thought that this whole reading was supposed to talk about. And like, right, how am I going to explain it? Masculine energy is like A to B. It's like, I'm going to go this way. And then the feminine's like, ooh, you know? And so it's bringing in these two energies together. And what about it? One is like confident to like go and do action. That's the masculine energy. But then the feminine energy within you creates. And so you create first and then go do. Create with your heart, go do. Create with your heart, go do. Go do you with whatever your heart wants you to do. So with that, we'll leave it there. I hope you have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.